What is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Before Corona hit, I had a really incredible conversation with Emilio Paschetto, the CEO for PT Torino, USA. And it's really interesting. He talks about brand building and the changing state of menswear, wholesale as well as retail. And it's really insane to think that this happened pre-lockdown. How many things still apply to luxury, menswear, or just fashion and retail business in general right now, today, despite the fact that pretty much everything has changed. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation I had with him. I know I did. Let's get into it.
So maybe I ask you something. So how did you get the idea of finally focusing on clienteling and providing a platform for clienteling?
Honestly, what really tipped it over was the Barney's thing, to be honest with you. I've been thinking about it for a while because, you know, you go to enough stores and the guys or girls on the floor, you'll ask, like, how's your business? And they're like, oh, it's tough. You know, business has been bad for the last, for years it's been happening that way. They'll talk about traffic is down, and they'll say the internet is eating my business alive. But then I look at the numbers, and it's like there's not that much business being done online that's going to completely crush your business. Yeah. And you think it's like, okay, what is working? Yeah. And the only thing that consistently works, recession, non-recession, great economy, bad economy, is clienteling. Yeah. Is relationship building where
Do you ever feel that you go in stores and you see merchandise in a total mess, nobody tidying, nobody sorting everything out, and everybody complaining, oh, I have no time to do anything. However, they're not even clienteling.
Yes. All the time.
So that's why you actually create something that exactly. Can be really useful.
Or even the more extreme alternative scenario, which is you go to a store and they're not doing anything. And they're telling you the business is bad.
Yes.
And for 4 hours, nobody, because at the end of the day, this is a business it's always been. Maybe your business is slightly different because it's pants. But you make your day off of one customer.
Absolutely.
Or your week off of 4 or 5 customers. So just running the numbers, it's actually not about foot traffic.
Yes.
You don't need, sure, you want to tell yourself, okay, we had 50 people come in today. But when you're shooting for one sale a day.
Yeah. In fact, it's funny because when you talk specifically about trousers, and of course I've been 10 years with the Incotex people, and then now the most recent success has been PT Torino, you actually learn the specific dynamic of trousers and jeans, and is actually slightly different than lifestyle jackets. And it can be similar to shirts. For instance, I always try to use the comparison of Eton shirts or Stenson shirts together with us, so the better product shirts, because the idea of multiple, so you can have one client buying 5 colors. Right. I think that is a little bit more complicated when you have shoulders and sleeves and things like that. Yeah. But trousers specifically has a dynamic that is even simpler than the rest of the business, I think.
You think it's simpler than, say, shirts, or similar to shirts?
It's simpler because shirts generally are, okay, the guy comes in and he needs shirts. For work, he needs white and blue shirts and and the stock is gigantic and the 60-70% is on stock. Trousers, it's simpler because you can only have certain amount of trousers in stock, like the typical wools, the typical cotton dresses, the typical jeans. And so you have a part of fun that must be included. Right. While you can have a wall of blue and white shirts and few little flowers, you cannot have a wall of gray and charcoal trousers. You have to have some fun. Otherwise, you will never sell trousers.
Because
if you don't have fun.
Because the guy will buy, he'll buy what, 1 pair of blue, 1 pair of charcoal, and then you're done? Or?
Well, the thing is, in order to provoke a sale of trousers, you have to have exciting trousers. Right. So you can even end up selling the charcoal and the blue, but you must have the exciting trousers. Shirts are needed. People say, I need a shirt. It's
a commodity.
It's a total commodity.
It's like I go to work, I wear a button-up shirt, I need commodity. 5 whites, 5 blues.
Trouser is partially commodity. Right. And actually, it's even more interesting. the incredible success of trousers, specifically from PT Torino, for instance, and since we got PT Torino on the track in America, is the casualization on high end. So we became the most high-end luxury casual company because my strategy here was forget about wools or have just the most beautiful, but don't make it a core.
Right.
The core is something else.
Right.
We invented the kinetic. We stress the fact of having a lot of program in-stock service on the casual, dressy, high-end look and on the fun. And all of a sudden, there is a response. You need to have fun to sell good, interesting product. And if you go back to the usual boring shark skin and whatever, then you become a commodity that is like the white shirt. And you can't just develop business on that.
Right. So how long have you been at PT?
I've been 3.5 years now. We got here. PT went publicly traded at the stock exchange in Milan in 2015.
Okay.
And they hired me in 2016.
Okay. So you said you came in the business with that strategy, the casualization of the trouser.
Yeah.
3.5 years ago, it was kind of already moving that direction, right?
The pivotal point was trouser respond to an equation. The equation is the rise, the seat, the thigh, the knee, and the bottom.
Right.
It's 5 elements. If you get them perfect, as we, I think, did, I thought and I bet all my money on let's move America on a modern fit. That's what other people were trying to do, but not executing right. You have to have one fit that is that perfect modern fit where the 90% of your clients get in because you get the old gentleman with the chicken thigh and little tiny legs, or the guy with the belly that puts the trousers under, or the modern guy that is a slim guy that will feel $1 million while wearing something slimmer. And all these guys respond to one fit. So there was a wrong idea on, only the fit guy wears slim and the old guy would not.
Right.
All of a sudden, I succeeded in putting one body on the 80% of the clients and they all feel great.
So how do you do that? Let's dig into that because
It's
if
an
one
equation.
fit,
It's an equation. It's simply,
okay.
I developed some experience, of course, with other brands because staying 10 years focused specifically on trousers gives you experience.
Right.
And I think there was a bad execution on other sides, meaning some other people were known to be more classic, like Zanella. Perfect idea. Zanella was a very classic. If Zanella was like, hey, I have a slim fit, nobody would look at it.
Right.
And then other people were like, okay, this body is in centimeters, this is in inches, this is in this is in that. And they were creating a mess. I remember buyers saying to me, Emilio, you cannot supply with the other brand. You cannot supply 2 fits. It's too confusing. You must be recognized by one fit. At that point, I thought, you know what, they're right. If the same company supply 3 fits, they either have a tag that is gigantic like that with written in red, hey, this is slim, and this is gentleman, and this is old man, or you better just focus one brand, one fit.
So when you came to PT, you created this new fit.
So PT Torino already had a slim fit.
Okay.
It was called Slim Fit, but it was premature. It was pretty much, hey guys, we entered this market with a new concept. America is modernizing it and is becoming more modern. And I believed in that. Yeah. But it was badly executed because when you have the fit, then you have to have the entire coherence in proposing the fit, either in stock service and in the price range. So all of a sudden, I think I thought, well, it was super good. In the moment in which it was going to explode, and I said, let's put all the money here. If it goes right, we become the best. If it goes wrong, I go home. Literally, I'm out, guys. I tried, I'm out.
So it already existed. It was basically just like, here's the business strategy.
And the discipline, and the coherence, and the consistency, and the stock program, and the collection consistency.
So you came in, you put all your chips on red.
And I said, this is going to be an extreme amount of fabrics, all in one body, all stock supported, with different point of view, but all very understandable. I give an example. We have a tuxedo trouser, slim fit in stock service. Then we have a kinetic trouser, high performance in stock service in slim fit. Then we have 3 cottons. one that is super dressy, one is a gentle wash cotton sort of tricotine, and then one that is a silcochino, all three different. Then we have three wools. One is 445, one is 395, one is a traveler. When I came here, it was not like that. It was all over
it wasn't structured.
It was whatever. It was whatever. They're all slim fit, but whatever. So you need this discipline because the client needs to say, I get it. It needs to be super simple.
So everything...
Just super simple.
So it seems that if you could sum up the strategy, it's like pick a lane and simplify it.
And make it work by having consistency season after season after season. This is a very simple business. Like sometimes we think, designers think, oh, I have to have a lot of elements and complication. Yeah, you're a designer.
Right.
When you are in our business, that is the business where I think we talk about incredibly beautiful product, Italian company, and well executed year after year after year proposals, I think even Zegna does not change so much if he wants to be successful. Because you need to have the Zegna look and perception need to respond to a certain fit and expectation.
Right.
If you screw that up, you become you can become a Tom Ford.
Right.
You become a total designer that creates everything every season, but you will not have the consistency and the gigantic amount of business that is expected.
So let's go back to when you came in.
Yep.
Okay. You picked the business strategy. You placed the bet, like you said.
Yeah.
What was the response?
Well, I think I was extremely lucky. I am a very normal guy. I'm just very lucky. I'm very lucky. So the response was, well, actually, Emilio Paschetto is a PT Torino. This is a very exciting company. If he's there, it means they will be consistent and reliable because he's not mad. Well, let's really try and see if it works. And I was lucky. It worked. So we changed the entire stock service. We gave also a good discipline in the price point. We had the range and production made with certain deliveries. So we adopted the typical, hey, you have to have delivery 0, delivery 1, delivery 2. You have to have a broad amount of collection touching from the most dressy to the most casual, to the shorts, to the tuxedo, to the kinetic that we invented. However, we simply structure with extreme discipline. And of course, we excited the client. We tap into chapters that were never explored in one stop. The success of PT is very simple. If you talk about $400 trouser, you step in this showroom and you go from the most wash authentic jeans to the highest dressy wool with made in Italy fabric and everything in between, from kinetic to traveler to golf to tuxedo to shorts, to wool traveler, to jeans and to dressy cotton. So pretty much is one-stop shop for $400. Right. That's it.
So you said it worked across the board. Like, luckily it worked. So you mean it worked in the sense of the buyers came, they believed in your vision, and then they sold through the product. So the customer resonated with it.
And all of a sudden they said, you know what? It fits. For the men's business, first it needs to fit. Then you need to have variation and excitements. And then when it fits and you have variation and excitements, then they say, you know what? You also have stock service. So you have the fashion excitement, you have the stock service. It all fits one thing. You open the book and you say to the client, which color do you want? Which fabric? It all fits the same.
Right.
And when you get a man in a trouser that fits, trust me, he will come back.
And he'll come back for the same fit forever. Season after season, forever.
Because you cannot go trimmer than this. This is the other thing. I remember when Zanella was in the market many, many years ago, and I step in with Incotex and we trim it down. You could also trim Incotex. You cannot trim PT.
Yeah.
Because trimmer than this, it doesn't fit, sorry.
Right.
So all of a sudden, I'm the first one on the list with the most modern fit, with the coolest fit, but you can't go trimmer than that. Because it becomes unwearable.
Right.
It becomes the niche.
Right.
And so I'm in pole position. So if I carry on executing this project well, the jeans fit the same, the flat front fit the same, the traveler fit the same, the jogger fit the same, the kinetic fit the same, the tuxedo fit the same, then I'm in the game.
Right. So essentially, because you said, once you have the guy, the customer, he's never going away. He's never going back.
He might be excited by Cucinelli. He might be excited by Alexander McQueen or whatever, crazy thing, the Tom Ford jeans.
Yeah.
But if you want the perfect fit that makes you the most comfortable, you will say, hey, those PT Torino that makes me so comfortable. Which are the color? Which are the fabric? What do you have for this season?
So how did you convince the customer when you first came? You were proposing something that was different, slimmer trouser. If they were already in love with the existing, there were big players when you came in, that had huge distribution and had been selling tens of thousands of trousers.
It was scary, actually. It was very scary because I think you as a retailer, you need a modernization of your business because it's sterile. I remember you with the previous company asking me, what should we do to get a better business on this? And I now, in this new PT Torino vest and position, I have now the answer. I have a ginormous stock survey that can support you, and I have a new point of view.
Right.
The concept of new. Your client cannot answer, I already have it.
Right.
Your client will answer, oh, you have something new? And that is what we need, something new that fits and works and is consistent, is not a rip-off.
Right.
It's ethical, it's extremely well made, has a core of incredible fabric with a great consistent fit. He has a stock service. There is a serious, reliable company responding to this, and you always know what you're going to get into.
It's interesting because it's a pretty good analysis of the whole market right now, right? Because retail's been declining or whatnot, and you perfectly said, you have to give them something new.
Exactly.
But the business, if you look at it from the financial side, has always been based on core, right?
And I love the jeans people, and I inspire my concept on look at the people in jeans and how cool they are in doing their ginormous business. And I'm thinking, you have to have the core, you have to have the excitement, and you have to have the consistency. And this delicate balance in between the core and the fashion is what will make your company successful. The jeans people are probably too much core because jeans are like, how many jeans can you have? But I have the sophistication to have a lot of excitement things and a lot of basic things. And if I mix them well, I will be able to give to a store an excitement part and a core part that never marks down.
And are you okay with, or are your retailers okay with, even if the fashion is almost like a loss leader or maybe doesn't sell as well as the core, but it gets the guy in to buy the core?
They have to, because if you talk to the Italians, and I hate Italians. Like, no, not my Italian. I love my Italian. But in general, Italians like, great fashion. Let's do every fashion. I'm more American than Italians. And I'm born and raised in Biella, but I'm more American than Italian. The Italian would say, let's get great fashion. Yeah, and then you have the markdown. And then you have all the markdown money. And then you have no margins. And then you have the buyer insulting you. I'm saying, find the delicate balance. You must have fashion. In trouser, probably it should be 35, 40, 50%, depending on the store. And then you must have the core. And there's no recipe. There are some stores that are like 60-40, some that should be 70-30, some that are old-fashioned because they are so exciting that they need very, very different goods. But the moment in which you find your balance, the equation for me is supporting you in your balance.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Right.
You know your store, I know my collection. Let me find a good combination for what you need as core and what you need as fashion. And let's make this money together in a good way with a fantastic product, with a good consistency and good margins for you, having a very, very ethical collection to work on.
But your fashion is still the same model, or same fit, I should say. Not maybe the same model, but the same fit as the core, or it's different?
The fashion is the same body.
Same body.
But we trick with a lot of different elements.
Okay.
So it fits the same, but there are various elements.
So you could have double pleated pants that are the same fit
exactly.
as
or
a flat front.
The most interesting you can have the traveler with the back waistband that is an elastic.
Right.
That fits exactly as a slim.
Right.
You can have the jeans that fit exactly as a slim. You can have the kinetic that is a golf trouser, is a traveler trouser, or it looks like a cotton gabardine that fits exactly as the slim. So you can have various elements all fitting the same, but very funny that you don't have. The drawstring fits like the slim.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you have that body and everything that can be proposed, every color, every fabric, even tiny little dart pleats, but they all fit the same.
So I could buy all of these and
they
still
all fit, and you'll have that
no problem.
That cool look.
Okay.
The only serious problem that I think, and I'm always trying to say, I think it's fighting habits. So PT Torino is still not, of course, the first name that comes to your memory or your mind when you talk about trousers. We're still growing and getting business, and therefore we have to win the resistance of the sales associate. The sales associate always goes back to what they know.
Right.
Of course, now I'm super well known in certain stores, but there are still some stores that say, what is the PT thing is new? Now, if we win that resistance, then is there a resistance in the mind of the sales associate? I remember I was in Connecticut one day, and there was, I just did a seminar, and there was this sales associate, this lady selling AG jeans. And I said, why don't you sell these jeans? That is, it's a better product. You offer a better service. It's a better product. If the client has no price resistance, he will be happier because you supply a much better product. Oh, he always buy AG. But did you show something else? No. So he doesn't know anything else.
Right. Never tried.
He didn't ask for AG. He simply said, well, he always buys AG. But so sometimes the sales associate are just like, what's easy?
Right.
And he always asks for AG. And I always, these things in my mind is like, well, maybe show him. I'm not saying show mine. I'm saying show something else.
It's almost the retail version of the Henry Ford quote. If I asked my customers what they wanted, they'd want a faster horse, right? It's almost like if you ask a retailer, if I ask my customers what they want, they'll say more AG jeans.
Exactly. But it's not. But you know what? It's actually not like that, because then you think, you know what? AG jeans is literally. I'm talking AG is a wonderful
it's an
product,
example. Yeah,
but I'm
of
saying,
course.
That good, better, best. AG is good.
Right.
We're in the better,
right.
And then probably better towards best.
Yeah.
In the good world, fine. You can name AG, you can name Adson jeans, you can name whatever jeans, the citizens of humanity, whatever. Yeah. But I'm trying to say, if you have an opportunity to supply a better product to someone that's no price resistant, you must. It's your duty. It's your duty to show to someone better. It's like going to a museum. If I can go to the Louvre, why not to go to the Louvre instead of the local museum in Bologna that has one masterpiece, but not the 15 masterpiece, 25, 100 masterpieces of the Louvre.
Right.
And yes, the Louvre ticket costs more, but guess what? I have the opportunity to go there. I'll go there because I have the opportunity. I have no price resistance getting a flight and go to Paris. And
it's also, tell me if you agree or disagree, it's also building increased trust with your client, right?
Of course.
If you just give them what they need, then it's a commodity business.
And the guy will never receive instruction on what's better.
Right.
If I don't go to the Louvre, I don't know what is the entire culture of 5 centuries of painting. If I go to Bologna, I see only one period.
Right.
50 years, not 500.
Yeah.
So it's a broad culture about product.
But we got to be careful, I see this right now in retail, right, is because foot traffic is down pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
People are more tentative and more scared than ever to, I think, step out of their comfort zone as a sales associate, right? Because if the guy comes in and says, I'm here today to buy a navy suit or let's say navy pair of trousers, first and foremost, they're like, I cannot lose this navy pair of trousers.
Of course. So first you reach out to the navy pair of trousers you have.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing. That is, what you're saying is connected. Foot traffic, lack of people coming in is connected also to the moment of the social moment of scare with the coronavirus and all that. So in other words, a difficult sort of moment in which going back to the basic, going back to what makes the client comfortable, it's core.
Right.
Not scaring them away, not being dramatic. So give comfort. You think about more toned down color, more comfortable fabrics, not extravagant selection. Yes. However, and this is where fashion comes in and sort of plays the role that cinema does, that theater does. However, fashion needs to distract.
Right.
If the gentleman come in and look for a blue, navy, boring pair of wools, I say, sir, I have it. But I also have in the same color you're looking, this kinetic, the lightest trousers in the world that you have never seen. Look at this. Are you playing golf? This is the ultimate. And it's navy exactly as the other one. Why don't you try both? If it doesn't work, send it back. However, it's so special, it will work. And all of a sudden, there is this conversation of, it's nearly like theater sometimes. It's nearly like when you go to an opera and you're like daydreaming, and for 2 hours you're taking away from problems. Fashion sometimes does that. If you have something exciting that is new and is intriguing and cultural and you've never seen, you're amazed. And that's what I love to go, and I love to go to operas, theaters, cinema, whatever, museum, and stores. And I look at things that are amazing and think, wow, this is nice, let me try on. And sometimes it's just like a sales associate role in the society is inspiring by transmitting culture about beautiful products. And of course sell, but people wants to buy if it's exciting.
Right. And they came in, right? So at the end of the day,
and they come back.
This is luxury retail. People are scared of that. The way you said it is beautiful, but no one's gonna, when you say that thing about the kinetic trouser, such a small percentage of clients are gonna say, just give me the trouser I want. Don't,
exactly.
No one's gonna be angry
people
about
say,
that.
oh, let me see that.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh,
Yeah.
this is the lightest trouser in the world?
Yeah.
Oh, people play golf, and I would say, people go to a board meeting and then go to the golf club without even changing, because it looks like matte, it's not shiny at all, it looks like a cotton gabardine. Right. However, it's super highly breathable. You're talking about something new. It's like, you enter a Tesla garage. Oh, you don't go to a petrol station? No, it's only electric.
Right.
But it's fast as hell.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you think like, seriously? Well, Tesla started like that.
Yeah.
Tesla say it's only electric. We start from a completely different base. And it's interesting. You go in a new showroom, oh, you sell car. Yeah, they're only electric. Oh, wow, seriously? And all of a sudden it's like, let me try.
Yeah.
Just like I will never buy because I don't have the money or I'm not interested, but let me just have a ride. Just take me with you just to show me around the block how it works.
Right.
Then, I tried the kinetic, I put it down. Or maybe it's like, wow, it feels like nothing I wanted.
Right.
And all of a sudden you open an entire conversation. Oh, you like that? Let me show you the sneakers that we sell with that. Or that sport coat that is no shoulder, super light, works in the same way. Is a new chapter of conversation.
Right. And these are things that, at the moment, online doesn't accommodate, right?
It cannot, because this is a business of people buying incredibly beautiful things. And most of the time, you want to feel and touch and try them on. There is still, I remember when I went to a bonobos meeting, and I infiltrated the bonobos meetings, of course, seriously, because I want to study the bonobos success.
Yeah.
And the bonobos success was, these are people that have to buy trousers. They don't care about trousers.
Right.
But they are geeks most of the time, or scientists or whatever. They have to have trousers. And they don't want to go in stores. They don't want to try. They don't care, because they really cannot stand it. So they were ordering online, arriving home, trying in the evening, rush, putting in $80 perfect. This is my style. I want every color book.
Right.
They did not have the culture, the passion, the interest. They just simply need a pair of trousers. So that's fine for bonobos at $88. I think what we provide is the Louvre.
Right.
Is the art, culture, and history. We provide beautiful things that are exciting. And and this is what I'm very attentive, if you don't have price resistance, I respect money. Not everybody can spend $400 for a pair of trousers. Not everybody can spend $1,300 for a sport coat. But if you don't have price resistance, then you will buy the Tesla.
Right.
Then you will buy the Kinetic.
Right.
Then you'll buy the Boglioli sport coat. Then you'll buy the Eton shirt. Then you will want to be surrounded by beautiful things that you love, because they're exciting and they perform.
Right. So how do you stay disciplined in this environment? Because, menswear is changing.
I tell you how. You are a CEO, you do numbers.
Okay.
You do maths, you do numbers, you count, and you see my discipline has to take me inside this corridor of action. If I go out of this, I lose money.
Right.
And sometimes I say to the buyer, don't buy that. Don't stay here. Stay here. I have multiple examples of clients here and say, don't touch that. It's not for you. But
what about other categories? Because listen, everything we've been talking about is around simplicity and creating a clear value proposition.
Yep.
Every brand I've ever been involved with, 80+% of the business is done off of one model.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But there's always this tension to look at the fashion market and say, we should be getting into sneakers. We should be getting into high top sneakers. We should be getting into ripped jeans, whatever, streetwear, it doesn't matter. There's always a temptation to get into other categories, even though it's not your core. Like you talk about the financials. These are financials that you can't see. It's opportunity you see.
Yes.
So what's preventing you from going to create a shoe line, a PT?
I tell you, my specific case is very simple. You learn, if you produce wine, you learn that your vigneti, your wineries are in a certain area. Let's say Chianti.
Right.
Your wine can only be Chianti. You cannot say, hey, now in my Chianti area, with my grapes from Chianti area, I produce another wine. So for me, it's very simple. If you come from a deep culture in which your specific deep culture is making trousers, you don't invent yourself in making something else. However, let's say I'm a group CEO in the headquarters in France or England, and I have an amount of cash flow that would allow me to buy culture, I might buy a sneaker company.
Right.
I might purchase a knitwear company based in Scotland that makes high-tech, modern cashmere yarn spun with whatever, that makes it the most modern. So in my specific position in America, it's very easy to be disciplined. I don't have to take gigantic decision on buying and purchasing other company. I just have to execute extremely well my job.
If you were in that situation,
in headquarters,
that
would be fun.
To buy a great knit company,
I would be fired immediately.
Okay, but let's say you had, the ability to do that. I'm curious to hear your perspective on this. Let's say you bought the knit company, or you bought the shoe company. Would you keep it under the PT Torino brand, or would you keep it under a different brand?
So you would have to calculate, first of all, what are you buying? Meaning, are you buying the technical aspect of a product that's very little brand recognition, or you're buying a gigantic brand, super famous, that is already well known?
Right.
So it's really based case on case. Really.
Okay.
I think ideally you shouldn't lie to the client, and you should say, in theory, you should say, this knitwear is made here. The history of this company is this one, and it's the same sensitivity and the same price point. They combine perfectly with this. I have nothing against calling everything PT Torino, or nothing against calling the shoes for what they are, the trousers for what they are, the shirt what they are. It's really based on the sensitivity and the history that you're buying. Of course, if you're buying a fantastic product with little brand awareness, let's call everything PT Torino. Yeah. Why not? If I'm going to buy Golden Goose, I'm going to call these trousers Golden Goose.
Yeah. But because in my opinion, it's the hardest thing for a brand to do, like yourself. Let's say you did buy a sneaker brand or that wasn't known, or a knitwear brand, is once you're established in the consumer's mind as a product, I think the hardest single thing to do in the fashion business is get to a different category.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible. One good example, I think, is Cucinelli. Cucinelli did establish himself 15 years ago in sweaters in cashmere, and slowly but surely succeeded to enter suiting.
Yeah.
I remember when Bird of Goodman opened the suiting, literally like suits.
Right.
And and then shoes, and then trousers, and then shirts and sports shirt. He has been great because he focused on taking the Loro Piana client and making him feeling younger and better.
Right.
And he executed a perfect plan. So sometimes it's possible. Zegna was a suiting
it's a great
company.
Point. Yeah, it's a great.
And now he's super sportswear. You talk to Gildo, aspires himself to the sneakers and the hats from China and brings them all here. So there are examples. It is possible. I think when we focus on the little world of little companies, I think we have to be a little bit attentive to we're not capable because we're too small and we're thinking too small.
Right.
I try always to think very much like globally and out of the box. However, thank God my job is simple. I have to really make this platform perform in the best possible way for trousers. It's like, okay, you have a Maserati pushing on the track, on the racing track, because your job is to make that car lapping as fast as possible on that track.
Right.
That's it.
No,
don't go off-road.
I love the way you said that. I mean, I think you're right. I think once you get to a certain level, yes, you're almost like capped on market share, and you need to go somewhere else.
And we are public, and I'm learning what does it mean to have public expectation, because you have reports. So I give you another example. Golden Goose was in the hands of a private equity, then sold to another private equity, then sold to another private equity, and you have this absolute absurd pressure on performance. I would not do that. This is a world that is a world of gigantic performance for money. I don't like it. My world would be, you know what? I'm going to do the best that I can for this beautiful product, and my growth is slow. I don't care. I'm rich enough. Why should I push it?
Yeah.
I just want to do the best for this entire environment where we are. wasting the least amount of resources, providing the best absolute product. I will not make 10 million this year. I make only 5 million. That's fine. And I want my client to be super happy about this. And even my retailer super happy about it. And knowing that I'm not squeezing the lemon until there's no juice.
I don't think that's a ideology that's shared too much in the fashion industry, but that's great. I love that.
Come.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I think the 2020 will signify also the end of this brutal capitalism on private equity making money and squeeze the lemon and throw it out.
Right.
I think this period will signify a dramatic change, a substantial dramatic change in how we squeeze fashion to get the juice and throw it out.
Right. No,
I think it is. And I think probably also the consumer, especially the young millennials, Z generation, whatever, they will think like, let me not just go and pay a ridiculous amount of money for a designer. Let me just go and see what this stuff is made and how and what's the story behind.
No, it's a good point. It's almost like what's happening in the tech or like the public markets with Uber, Lyft. You know, like
that's exactly
it's a shift from the grow at all costs to be profitable, grow slower.
It's exactly that.
Fashion has a similar comparison.
Fashion did not learn yet that. No. Fashion is still like squeeze it. No. Private equity, get me money,
push
sell
as
it
much
fast.
Product out there as quick as possible until you don't sell enough and the retail drops
and
you.
And that's awful. And then why you see the collapse? You see the collapse of certain brands exactly because of that. Bankruptcy, collapse, fragility, unhealthy companies, all because of that.
Right.
All because of that. Including Beckham. If you read the balance sheets of the Beckham company, the husband has to put money in to keep it going.
Right.
I've nothing against that way of doing it, but it proves that there is something wrong in the equation.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look at Hermes, right? They've grown at whatever percent. I don't know the Hermes numbers,
but in 250 years they grew slowly but surely without changing the direction, always providing an extreme
and they've
quality.
Always grown. And they've never gotten to the point where consumers get fatigued.
Exactly.
There's too many people with Hermes.
Exactly.
And so many brands in fashion, like, they get to that point where it's going to collapse.
Yeah. And so it's difficult to do. I think it's difficult to do our work if you are greedy and you want to make a lot of money.
I agree with you. So the last thing I want to talk about, because I know a little bit about your business, I want to dig into this because I can't not talk about this, but tell me about your strategy for PT Column. Because I think it's an interesting marketing tool that...
PT Column. So first of all, is www.ptcolumn.com and PT Column on Instagram. So PT Column. Column in architecture is support and sustain, and column in journalism is information. So my idea was I want to support and sustain the sales associate, and I want to bring information. But my idea has always been the person that was forgotten on the floor is the sales associate. We have less and less chance to go in person to do PK and seminars and product knowledge, less and less chance to call and say, hey, how is going on? What's going on? This is my product. And less and less chance to reach out because there is this fragmentation of distribution. So I always thought, how can I talk to the sales associate bypassing the buyer? The buyer cannot carry the message. It's too confused, too get in number, too much. How do I get there? So 4 years ago, when I started with 3.5 years ago, when I started with PT, I was publishing little books that I was giving to every sales associate on Barney's floor, saying, this is what you're going to receive. And they were little booklets on paper with all the images. This is what you're receiving. This is what you're receiving. In 2 weeks, this is what you're receiving. And then I thought, everyone has a phone. Everyone has Instagram. Let's use PT Column Instagram to be that pirate thing that gets in your phone, and if you like PT as us here, you will always know what you get by following us. I'll tell you exactly. Saks Spring Summer 20. This is what you get.
Right.
Neiman Marcus. This is what you get. Especially the big guys. If I am sure, if I go to Denver to Andreessen Morton and talk to Lindsay, I'm sure the guys on the floor knows more or less what we're going to get because it's a specialty store. They take care of it. And anyway, maybe the young guy is distracted doesn't, but the majority do.
Right.
The big guys forget about it. So you follow PT Column, you go on Instagram, you find all the resources you need, A, to clientele, B, to know what you're going to get, C, to know us. And then PT Column as a website as the core ground of, hey, what do this guy have on stock? Here. Hey, how does it fit? Here is the video.
Right.
Hey, What is this denim? Hey, here is the entire story of our denim collection. So PT Column as a website is the ground base of what you must know, including a PK digital. So you have 3 minutes of digital PK. PT Instagram is a fast use of what you're going to get.
Right.
A fast use to clientele, a fast use to tell your client, hey, this is what I get, come and see it. Right here. Just forward it. So it's a quick language to get straight to the sales associate, hopefully.
No, but what I love about that is you built it with the sales associate in mind.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like so
Talking
often...
only to the sales associate.
Right, because I feel like so often, most branches blend it. Right? They're just like, okay,
this
great,
is for sales associates
We'll put some
only.
information in and go to our official Instagram and you'll find some information about our brand.
No. Also, it's written for sales associates and retailers only.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that
could
I
be a
have
t-shirt.
Yeah, seriously. Because I have the sales associate because they're the lost, forgotten workers.
Yeah.
And I think because it's a human business where we sell dreadful, expensive, beautiful things, the human aspect of it needs to be reevaluated because we forgot about them.
I think it's the relationship people have with brands
Of
in
course.
any category now.
Of course.
Listen, I started in the business, it was only in-store product knowledge seminars. I travel all around, give your 1-hour presentation, and that's it.
And
then you're gone.
now my PK is online.
Yeah.
Now you can see in any moment. You can even show to your client, hey, this is the traveler wool that you
Right.
got. Look, this is the CEO telling you how it is.
Right.
Because I'm not even capable. I don't have the time. Let me forward you the
Yeah.
message.
But it's also, on the knowledge standpoint, it's absorbing a brand over time, right?
Yes.
Because as opposed to, okay, you come to my store, you're standing in front of me as a retail sales associate, I'm going to absorb you for an hour.
Yes.
And I'm going to forget.
Of course, you don't
gonna-
retain.
I'm going to slowly build my relationship over time with
Yes.
PT Torino every day or every other day,
Yes.
whenever I go to PT Column. That's what I love about
Yes,
it. Is
and he's also there like to remind you what you need.
Right.
It's here. What you have doubts about my stock service? It's all there
Right
on your
there,
phone.
yeah.
It's right there on your phone. Ginormous stock service right there on your phone. You don't need password. No, it's all open. You just anybody, even the competitor. I don't care because the competitor cannot replicate my stock service.
Yep.
Do you want to see what I have?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I have nothing to hide. Sometimes we discuss when a sales associate leave a company, goes to another company, will take the clients away. Not really. When the sales associate leaves a store in Dallas to go to a store in Chicago, he will find a different environment, a different product.
Right.
He will find a different structure. Of course, he will keep some relationship. But it's not that the sales associate that leave Dallas to go to Chicago will take all the clients away. As well as you want to know what PT does, go on my page.
Yeah.
Feel free because you will not be able to replicate what I do.
Right.
And also, I'm always one step forward.
Yeah.
I'm starting it.
Yeah.
I'm the one forward. You copy him now, in 2 years' time, I'll do something else.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I think when you embrace that, you know that everyone can go to your website and
course.
learn about it. You force yourself to be forward-looking.
Of course.
As opposed to being like, what I'm
I'm
doing right
waiting-
now
yeah,
is so
exactly.
great. It's so fucking awesome that I can be...
But think also this. Any competitor can go in a store in Chicago and look at my stock book in the
Right.
same way.
Right.
There's nothing to hide.
Right.
Everybody can take a picture. Oh, I've been to the store. This is the stock they have. So what?
Yeah.
is the system behind to feed information to help the sales associate. The idea is if I help the sales associate, even the buyer will say, hey, you know what? These guys at PT Torino are doing an incredible job for my guys. For my guys, not for me.
Right.
I know everything. I'm the buyer. But my guys don't know it.
Right.
My guys are forgotten. My guys are not in touch. And I bypass the buyer. I contact 650 sales associate Saks because they're in my mailer. And I send specific communication to them. I want to be in touch of every guy in 15 doors at Saks every 2 weeks.
In a value-add way.
Of course.
Not a sell
Not
more
like-
PT Torino.
No. It's specific for Saks. This is what you're going to receive. Hey, give me your feedback. Hey, we're going a contest. Hey, this is the jeans you have on the floor.
Right.
Hey, this is my stock book. Don't forget.
Right.
Hey, talk to your buyer about this. This is available in my New Jersey warehouse. Shipping next day. Specific thing that can help you develop business. Specific, relevant for your environment.
Right.
As a sales associate in Boca Raton at Saks.
Right. And that's, you're speaking to like the way the world is right now.
Yes.
But fashion needs to learn this in the sense of...
I think fashion is behind.
It is.
Fashion is all about product, all about how cool is my collection, and not about who is in the chain of putting the product into a client.
And you're
or
doing-
a client into a product.
And you're doing that in your own way, right? So look at advertising.
So I call it a pirate way. Advertising
the
will be
pirate way.
collapsing.
Yeah.
Advertising will be collapsing because it's the most behind anchor to the usual dynamics.
Right.
And even advertising has to be extremely effective now because they're wasting so much money. And I don't even care about advertising. I want to communicate in a relevant way because I'm thinking I'm the pirate that goes under the skin. Because I need to talk to you if you're in my front line in Charlotte or in Charleston or in wherever, San Diego. I need to talk to you. You need to be connected to me because I need to help you out. And I can only help you out if you know what I'm doing and you want to know what I'm doing.
And that's marketing in the sense of people think, I think, especially in this business,
marketing, in my opinion.
It's marketing and it's advertising at the same
Exactly.
time, right? So people think you talk advertising and fashion, you talk marketing. It's the ads I have in the magazine or the ads I have online, whatever.
You know, I even thinking about the magazine of the stores. I say, you know what? You want money to publish your magazine.
Right.
That's what happens. We know.
Of course, yeah.
You're asking me
co-op and-
$1,000, $2,000. Okay, but you have to put a post a month, hashtag PT column, in your website, in your Instagram, in your Facebook. Otherwise, I give you only half of the money. Because I want your guys to remember that I'm also supporting you by PT column.
Yeah.
I want this PT column, and I would do in every company. I would do it, you hire me, I would do with your company in your suiting company, in your sneakers.
Right.
I need to reach the first line. The first line of war is the sales associate. I need to be with him.
Exactly.
That's it.
But not only is that who's selling your product, to me it's they're your storytellers, right?
I
so
need to
they
be
are your
with
advertising.
him. They are with me.
Yeah.
We are all together. I did a seminar, I did a presentation at the Saks manager. I said, I want to sit with you here. I'm not the guy standing over there talking about a company. I'm standing here, sitting and talking about us. And how can I help you with one phrase, one line? For instance, let me show you the lightest trouser in the world. Where any lady that is selling to a lady, oh, your lover, your husband, your brother, let me show you the lightest trouser in the world. We just got it in. I need to give you excuses and opportunities to talk about beautiful product that will give you an excuse to sell. Very simple. I call it the excuse. But it's a way to show something new that you don't have that will give you an excuse to sell beautiful product.
And it's back to simplicity, right? You're giving them the most simple way of how to communicate your brand.
Let me show you the best traveler trouser in the world. Let me show you the lightest trouser in the world.
Right.
Let me show you this invention. This is something that you don't have, you've never seen.
Right.
And I think Lululemon did. I think the CEO of Theory did it. I actually got Andrew Rosen his idea and made it Italian. Meaning the performance, the beauty.
Yeah.
He made the approachable price point. I said the beauty of the Italian, the technology and the high tech, sartorial. And that was my excuse. Use the kinetic, the sartorial, high-end, high-performance, most elevated and most performant trouser is the only one sartorial at $400. And there's a reason. I took the Andrew Rosen price approach and I said, let's make it Italian at the sartorial level. So I copied as well.
But that's not you're going after a brand new customer though, you know? So you
Exactly.
copied it.
Yeah, exactly. And copying sometimes is the best form of, imitation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, so what's next for PT? What, like in the coming
I think
year?
one fantastic idea that I have, I've never seen an Italian company respecting America and coming to America and do jeans made in LA. So imagine this.
It has to be made in Italy.
I don't believe that. America is authentic for jazz, for whiskey, and for jeans. I would like to use this platform to make jeans in LA, made in America, with the engineering and design of the Italians, but the made in America. And $400 at the price point that is luxury. Of course, it's an expensive product. We are only $395, $395 and $400 for a quarter. We're at that price point, but made in America with these fantastic Italian fabrics. Our old details, our exceptional quality, but made in LA.
I love that.
And then you tell a story. It's authentic. This is the authenticity of going back to where jeans was born, but reinterpret in the Italian way, but made where it was made. I think this is something that I don't know why no Italians ever thought about that. I think because they're too proud of themselves. But you have to respect that America is jeans. And if you want to have a story about jeans, you have to make in America. So this is my next idea.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. What do you think of the Fear of God Xenia collaboration? Because I know that those jeans are made in LA, but it's by I think it's in the Fear of God factory.
Yeah. I think, first of all this collaboration, everybody designed it for everybody, Adidas with whatever, Xenia with whatever, Specifically about Xenia, so this is an interesting conversation. Specifically about Xenia, they're definitely looking for how do we break into that young guy? They are sponsoring a fantastic skateboarder. I don't know if you know, in Italy, there is this incredible skateboarder that is one of the top in the world, and he's sponsored by Xenia. And I follow him, and I saw, wow, Xenia is very smart. They're really trying to reach the 25 years old.
Right.
So this is definitely a strong tool to talk to the 25 years old.
Right.
This idea of collaboration is getting me actually annoyed because everybody's doing every you're actually losing the point.
Right.
Of like, okay, it's all short term. This is collaboration, this is another collaboration. And all of a sudden, in 20 years' time, it will all be forgotten. Because there's no solidity and consistency. It's all today for tomorrow, sell it, leave it.
It's a good point, and it's back to what we talked about before about being patient and being okay with lower growth, right?
Exactly.
Because what's happened is you're accelerating the demise of it by being, oh my God, collaborations work great.
Or you are
Let's do
too
a ton.
big and you need production.
Yeah, true.
That's the other problem big overstructured company have. And so I'm thinking, for sure in the short term, will work out. I just think we need to be a little bit more coherent of what we do, and we need to be a little bit more humble, and we don't need to be greedy unless we're desperate.
Right.
So if you're desperate, then you need to do anything. But chances are, when you're really scrambling for ideas, you make mistakes. You make mistakes. So I prefer to kind of have the chance to be small and strategize and make it step by step and make it work. And have always a real authentic story. Be authentic, be real, don't bullshit. You bullshit, you're dead. Today you bullshit, you're dead. If you're bullshitting today, you're dead. So be real and be authentic. These are the two words that every time I do something, I'm thinking, oh, this has authenticity, and this is real, and this has a reason to be. If we respond to that, we're in the game forever.
You know what? I'm just going to end on that.
Yeah,
that was a great point.
Let's end on that.
That is beautiful.
We did it on purpose. We prepared it.
That was, it could have been prepared. That was poetry. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Let's try. Let's keep fingers crossed. In 10 years, we will see if it worked.
Be authentic, be real. It's my mantra on life. 100%. But thank you for doing this.
No, my pleasure. It's always great fun. It's always great fun to try to expose educational
and talk
ideas.
more about this. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, no one knows the future of this.
Exactly.
It's a throw the rule book out kind of era, right? So,
that's why in 10 years we need to measure what we said.
Yeah, exactly. All right, awesome. Thanks, Emilio. Appreciate it.
Next time.